Welcome, all my fellow brethren and sistren. I am your man, resident Redskins fan, Louie T. Thank you for joining me here on this program. Quickly, just heard the news. Hot, fresh off the presses. Redskins trade a conditional 7th-round pick. So, of course, that means that, upon certain conditions being met, the Patriots will receive a 7th-round pick from the Redskins, and I'm not sure if it's in the 2017 draft coming up in the spring or if it's 2018 or whatever draft pick, but I'm assuming it's from the 2017 draft upcoming in the spring. Redskins will send a conditional 7th-round selection to the New England Patriots in exchange for center Bryan Stork. Now, it was released about a day or two ago that the Patriots were thinking about releasing, and there was an impending release of Bryan Stork. So I don't know who let the cat out of the bag, because we know up in New England, they do it differently than everyone else. If they don't want any information leaving their building, usually it doesn't leave their building. So I think this was a calculated leak to the media, which they then did the rest of the work, the rest of the legwork for the Patriots by announcing that Bryan Stork was going to be released, which then put a lot of teams on notice. Hey, this guy may be able to be had for a hot ham and cheese sandwich. And so the Redskins picked up the phone, called up the Patriots brass, and made the deal to acquire Bryan Stork. Now, what does this mean for the Redskins? I look at him as a guy that's going to come in here. First and foremost, let's talk about Bryan Stork and why this deal was made. First and foremost, the reason why he's no longer in New England. This is a guy that the New England Patriots spent a 2014 4th-round pick. So 2014 4th-round pick on, and he's already gone from New England. And we've seen the Patriots not waste any time in getting rid of draft picks. We saw them get rid of Dominic Easley earlier on in the season. So they're not wasting any time with draft picks that don't conform to what they like to do in New England. Bryan Stork had a problem with authority in New England. He headbutted a player in the AFC Championship game, got a 15-yard penalty for that. Got into a fight recently in a inter-squad scrimmage, and or not inter-squad, excuse me, a scrimmage with the Bears. That's part of the reason you haven't seen as many scrimmages, including the Redskins, who didn't scrimmage this year. And we've scrimmaged for the last 2 years, scrimmaged with the Patriots 2 years ago, scrimmaged with the Texans last season, didn't scrimmage anyone this year because we couldn't get along with the Houston Texans last year, as was noted and documented on Hard Knocks. So he got into it with a Bears player, Sam Acho, and had to be tossed from that scrimmage. So he has a problem doing things the right way, has a temper, will lose it from time to time. Also, not a fan of the media. He's a guy that was a jerk to the media in New England and just had a problem with his teammates and conforming in New England. Wasn't a great teammate either. And that's what was basically said. So it's a lot of things surrounding this guy. I think the Redskins are thinking if we just give him a fresh start, maybe he'll be able to come in and help us. Injuries have also been a big factor in why the Patriots gave up on Bryan Stork. He started immediately in his rookie season, helped them win the Super Bowl in 2014. Played in 11 games that season, missed 5 due to injury. Played in 6 games or 8 games, started 6 of them last year, and only was able to appear in 8 games due to injury. So again, this is a guy that has been battered and bruised in just 2 years in the league. That's been an issue with him, durability. Again, Redskins see a guy that is potentially talented, that can help them with the depth on the interior of their offensive line, which has been a need for us for quite some time. They're hoping that Bryan Stork can, A, come in and conform and want to be a team player, B, be able to stay healthy, and C, be able to help them on the interior of their offensive line. Keep in mind, Redskins, this is a rookie contract here. And so with Bryan Stork, if this guy is able to work out, Redskins could then maybe cut a guy like Corey Lichtensteiger and save some cap space and be able to maneuver and do some other things necessarily, down the road. Because keep in mind, the running back position, a little scarce right now for the Redskins. And with that Matt Jones injury, Matt Jones, little questionable as to what the depth is behind him. We like Chris Thompson. We love what he brings to the table. He's not an every down rock toter. You look at the other guys in camp, not impressed. Keith Marshall hasn't been impressive. Robert Kelly, I'm not impressed. So you look at what the Redskins have behind Matt Jones. Matt Jones and Chris Thompson, not a lot there. So maybe the Redskins are going to have to go out and get someone. And I'm thinking that they're going to get someone when either these cuts take place or Pierre Thomas, a guy that was integral in that Redskins playoff stretch last season. That could be a guy that they could call up after the first game of the season and sign him up so that they won't be guaranteed and locked into his contract. So that's another option for the Redskins. But again, all of those things take money. And so freeing up some cap space, potentially cutting a veteran like Corey Lichtensteiger may be the impetus for this move and going out and getting Bryan Stork. Now, there's no guarantees here. He doesn't have to make this roster. If they get him for these next 2-3 weeks and they realize that this guy just isn't a team player, he's not what we were looking for, let's say he gets injured, Bryan Stork will be gone, and the Redskins probably won't be on the hook for that 7th-round conditional pick. So, a lot of things could transpire in the next couple of weeks as to whether he'll be on this roster or not. But I look at this move and I say to myself, if this guy comes in, he's healthy, if he comes in with a different attitude than he had in New England, and they feel like he can help, I think this is going to mean something for 1 or 2 players. I already thought Josh Laribas wasn't going to make this team. Don't expect Josh Laribas to make this team. But that could mean the end of the line for a guy like maybe Corey Lichtensteiger, because, again, I looked at Spencer Long in that game against the Jets, and I thought he performed very well. And I don't think Spencer Long is going to end up starting at left guard for us. I will be shocked if he's in the starting lineup at left guard come Friday versus the Buffalo Bills. It would not shock me in the least if they move him over to center and he starts the game at center. I'm going to tell you right now, if that in fact does happen, if Corey Lichtensteiger is on the bench to start the game versus the Buffalo Bills and Spencer Long is in at center, you know exactly what this move was for. That means Corey Lichtensteiger is going to be the odd man out, and they're probably going to keep both Spencer Long and Bryan Stork as their 2 centers going into the 2016 season. So I think this move could have some ramifications that ripple through this football team, and we'll see what happens and see if he is, in fact, a guy that can come in and help this Redskins football team or not. That remains to be seen. Again, had a lot of issues in New England, a lot of baggage in New England. He's coming to Washington. Hopefully we wipe the slate clean and he's able to help this Redskins team moving forward. We'll see what happens with this trade and if this is a trade that can help the Redskins in 2016 and beyond. Again, you're getting a guy that's still on a rookie contract that has starting experience, that played well when healthy. We'll see if he's a guy that can come in and help this Redskins football team. That's the skinny on the Redskins trading a 7th-round conditional pick to the New England Patriots for Bryan Stork. And now let me just address one more thing. You probably say to yourself, well, if he was going to be released, why did the Redskins feel the need to give up a pick? Simply put, he was going to have to clear through waivers in order for the Redskins to be able to sign this guy. And Bryan Stork has some talent. He is a guy that can get the job done. And coming from that New England Patriots franchise, going to entice some teams to put a claim in for him. And again, the way the claims are looked at, if you are a team that didn't make the postseason, so basically it goes in draft order from last season. So the Tennessee Titans, because they were the first overall selection going into the draft before all of the trades took place, they would have the first claim on anybody that's released on the waiver wire, and so forth and so forth. The next team in line would be the team with the 2nd pick. The next team after that would be, the San Diego Chargers. After that, the Dallas Cowboys, so forth and so forth. You get where this is going, all the way to, the 32nd team in the league, the team that won the Super Bowl in the Denver Broncos. So the Redskins would have been way down the food chain because they made the postseason. Remember, they won the division last year. So they would not have gotten a chance to put in a claimer before about 20 other teams would have had a chance to put in a claimer, a waive claim on Bryan Stork. And so the Redskins went ahead and just went and leapfrogged that whole process and traded a 7th-round pick. Again, the likelihood of a 7th-rounder making your roster is slim to none. So this was a good investment by the Redskins to go ahead and get a guy in Bryan Stork that can help them and potentially make this Redskins roster in 2016. So let me know what you think about the trade. Did the Redskins make the right move here? What does this mean for the Redskins roster? Do you think that's the end of the line for Corey Lichtensteiger? Does that mean something for a guy like maybe Spencer Long? We'll see. I fully expect Spencer Long to be on this roster, but not at left guard. I think he's moving to center, and I think Corey Lichtensteiger may be the odd man out. I'm your man, Louie T. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold. Until we meet again, hail to the Washington Redskins. And remember, tonight, 9:30 p.m. sharp, NFC East breakdown, season preview and predictions. We'll talk Redskins football. We'll talk Cowboys football. We'll talk Eagles football. We'll talk Giants football tonight, 9:30. I expect to see you there. If you're a Redskins fan and you call yourself a Redskins fan, then you ought to be there. I'll see you then. Have a good one.